Hey, how's it going, everybody? It is Jazzy, the video store Sasquatch here, and we are doing another Throwback Thursday. Nothing really planned, but what happened is I told you the last video after our big action um, movie that there was like two or three movies where we could have changed out, put two or three different movies in, and I specifically said Armageddon, um, Copland, and the Roadhouse movie with Patrick Swayze. So instead of doing Copland, though, I did a different movie, but I did those three movies as like an add-on to this month of the action movies we did. So we're going to talk about these three movies, and then we're talking about the box office for this month and any news over the week that I happen to see. Um, so let's start it here with Armageddon, directed by Michael Bay, starring Bruce Willis and Billy Bob Thornton, Ben Affleck, and Liv Tyler. After discovering that an asteroid the size of Texas will impact Earth in less than a month, NASA recruits a misfit team of deep core drillers to save the planet. This movie came out on July 1st, 1998. It had a budget of $140 million. It had opening gross opening weekend of $36 million and had a total gross worldwide of $553.7 million. There's a reason why Michael Bay is a big deal. Um, we covered two or three of his movies with Bad Boys and another one, not Con Air. Was it Con Air? It was one of the Nicolas Cage movies that was also a Michael Bay movie. I can't. Oh no, it was The Rock. So I mean, he's kind of a big deal director. He made a lot of money here. Just the size of this cast is crazy too, with Will Patton, Steve Buscemi, William Fichtner, Owen Wilson, Michael Clark Duncan, Peter Stormare, Jason Isaacs, Eddie Griffin even has a little cameo there with the dog, as The Rock almost killed him and his dog coming to Earth. Great visuals in this movie, great soundtrack in this movie with Smith's I Don't Want to Miss a Thing as the main point of the movie. I remember back when the movie came out, how big that song was. I don't know. I believe it had already had been released, but I remember how big that song was that year because of this movie. Just all the big scenes. You can tell Ben Affleck's ought to be a star with this movie. They definitely made it a point to spotlight him and give him the rub, as they would say in wrestling. Liv Tyler, absolutely stunningly beautiful in this movie, and everything she is in really in the late 90s, early thousands here is really quality work too. I kind of talk about nepo babies and how they kind of get a break here. I'll never say that about anybody. I think that's kind of like a cop out for people that just are a little sad, but that is definitely not. And if I for Liv Tyler specifically, I would definitely never say that about her because she worked hard. She might have gotten a couple breaks with her name, but everything she did, I mean, we're talking Lord of the Rings, even though I'm not a big fan of them. Just huge movies. Let's see here, Armageddon. And the one that I'm thinking of is the record label one that I can't think of the name of, or whatever, where they're in the record store. But she's so many more movies than that, and all of them very quality wise. Yeah, and so we basically start learning about how the asteroid took out the dinosaurs and what kind of like an Earth killer asteroid is from the very beginning, and then we are kind of in like a classic scenes where the NASA's not only picking it up, but another guy that's kind of working on his own with a satellite is picking it up. We meet Billy Bob, who is the head of NASA, kind of see his personality, and then we are introduced to the drillers in the drill, which is kind of weird how they did this part, but we'll just talk about it and then let's go on from there. But we'll talk about it after I kind of summarize it here. But they're at the drill. Um, Bruce Willis is obviously the boss, and we kind of meet the drillers. We see that Ben Affleck is hooking up with Liv Tyler, who is Bruce Willis's daughter in this movie, and he is also like kind of like the heir apprentice to Bruce Willis as well. and then we kind of get a funny scene where he chases Ben Affleck around the drilling rig with a gun, and then a drill pops off, so we get some drama, and then Bruce Willis is whisked away to NASA, where we kind of go from there. The kind of funny thing is we kind of meet all these characters at the drilling. So this is what we were talking about. We kind of meet all the characters at the drilling section over there, but yet we still have like an introductory part of them all, and NASA trying to chase them down, which is fine and all. It's a good it's a good like story trope, but at the same time, it's like really with the kind of speculation of time they're wasted trying to wrangle these guys up when maybe like Bruce Willis could have just made a couple phone calls, especially since they were already on the rig. Like I don't know how quick, like really within like 5 hours, all these dudes got into mayhem and whatever. They're just trying to show that these people are wild and crazy. And I love the Steve Buscemi line of every time the authorities are after him, he always kind of says she was eight. She always said she was 18, so there's a kind of funny line there. Great movie. Definitely should have been on this. I probably would have got rid of Over the Top for this one, to be honest with you, or I could have really got rid of. Um, See, I don't have the list in front of me. I'm gonna get the list up here real quick. I could have put this movie ahead of so many other movies. I should have put a movie I didn't think about it. I didn't even think about the year because it's '98. So that is my fault, and that was Armageddon, directed by Michael Bay. And the second movie we're going to talk about here is Roadhouse, directed by Rowdy Harrington, starring Patrick Swayze, Kellen Lynch, Sam Elliott, and Ben Gazzara. A legendary bouncer comes to restore order at a notorious bar, but runs a full of a ruthless crime boss who controls the town. The time. I've done time. It's the town. Came out May 19th, 1989. Had a budget of $17 million, an opening of 5.9, and grossed at 30 million. This movie is like a cult classic, not cult classic, pop culture icon classic movie. I mean, sorry, I did not mean cult at all. I meant pop culture classic. It is like referenced in almost like anything that has to do with the '80s when we're talking about it today. This movie is awesome. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like Patrick Swayze is a badass in it. We got Terry Funk coming out of nowhere in this. Sam Elliott's pretty cool in it, and like the action sequences are believable. And then like the reason why I kind of removed it from the list because originally it was on the list, but the reason why I kind of removed it from the list was because I was like, I don't think there's enough gun action and stuff like this, but there definitely is, and there definitely is when you go back and watch this movie. It's been so long. I mean, I'm not gonna say because I watched this movie like 2, 3, maybe 4 years ago when they originally announced that Ronda Rousey was gonna do a role. So maybe that might have even been a little bit longer ago. And then I haven't watched it since. And then I watched a new one, which really isn't that bad with Conor McGregor and Jake Gyllenhaal. Obviously, Ronda Rousey ended up having nothing to do with it, so kind of got rewrote a couple times through the time. That's kind of why I say it might have been even longer than 5 years. It might have been almost 7 years, 8 years. But yeah, it's good. Definitely legendary. We start off with him in the bar. We kind of see the style, and then we move to the bar, and we see that this bar is like a clear fight fest, and no one's running it. A guy just kind of offers another dude to suck his woman's titties off right in the middle of everything, and then the dude kind of starts grabbing him. The dude's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Well, I don't got the money to suck on him," and then it starts a whole big old fight. So this wild, crazy '80s stuff. And then we get Patrick Swayze kind of being cool and demure the whole time, stoic, and he's a very good movie. We see his mentor Sam Elliott. It's kind of the same way, so we kind of see that Sam and Patrick end up doing the same thing. So much little crazy stuff happens in a small town to this dude that kind of just shows up out of nowhere, ends up banging the hot doctor, and I guess leaving town. I don't think he stays there after just causing complete chaos to this town. Yeah, this is a good one. It was on AMC Plus. So was Armageddon, to be honest with you. And this was Roadhouse, directed by Roddy Harrington. And I actually do kind of have what I would replace. I have the list up now. I didn't before in this video, but I made sure to pull it up for this one. So for Roadhouse, I would replace Universal Soldier for sure. For the Armageddon one, I think I would take out Last Boy Scout. And then for the next one we're going to talk about, the last movie here is The Specialist, directed by Louis Luza, starring Sylvester Stallone, Sharon Stone, James Wood, and Rod Steiger. A woman entices a bomb expert she's involved with into destroying the mafia that killed her family. This came out on October 7th, 1994. Had a budget of $45 million and an opening of 14.3 and a gross of 170.3 million. I'd replace this movie with Tango and Cash probably because remember we didn't get a good sounding version of Tango and Cash. So it has another Stallone movie in it, or maybe I said that. No, I said Over the Top for the other one, or no, I said Last Boy Scout for the one. So we'd replace Over the Top with this one. Obviously, I could have thought another movie for Over the Top. So really, we could have got rid of Tango and Cash, or we could replace this with Tango and Cash, and kept Last Boy Scout, added Armageddon, and got rid of Over the Top and put Roadhouse in the beginning. I kind of want to get rid of Universal Soldier too, but whatever. The list is the list. This movie is crazy good. It's from '94. It's kind of a little bit different. Kind of more of like the sexy style thriller movie that kind of Sharon Stone's more known for, which is cool. There's nothing wrong with it. Stallone plays a bomb expert who goes against kind of James Wood and Robert Eric Roberts, who is the other bad guy, kind of the mob guy in this, who was originally dating Sharon Stone's character. Um, it's interesting. We start in the jungle with James Wood and Sylvester Stallone, and Wood is apparently going to blow up a family or something, and Stallone doesn't want to blow up the family. He was just trying to kill the dad, and they get into a conflict there, and then I think Stallone's left for dead, and eventually we get to Miami, where Woods and Eric Roberts, like I said, are working together, and Sharon Stone's already kind of involved with them, and we find out that Sharon Stone and Sylvester Stallone are working together. The reason why I kind of chose this one instead of Copland, and I'm choosing this one instead of Copland, even though I really love Copland, it's just because of the name power. Sharon Stone and Sylvester Stallone, especially in '93, '94. I mean, she would have just been coming off Basic Instinct. She'd probably been one of the biggest female stars in the world, and Sylvester Stallone, he would always be one of the bigger male stars in the world, especially in the late '80s, early '90s, or especially in the '80s and '90s, early '90s to be exact. So, and this, I mean, this movie made money. The other ones, Tango and Cash didn't make money. Over the Top really didn't make money, and even Demolition Man, which is really good, didn't make that much money, which is interesting because you think that with the kind of so like kind of like just the overall celebration of Demolition Man, or can I think of a different word, you would just think that would have been a lot more money, especially since it just kind of ran through the cable channels. I remember it being on Stars a lot. If it wasn't on Stars, it'd be on HBO. If it wasn't on HBO, it'd be on Max. And it kind of run its course every like 3-4 months through each channel. So it was always kind of on. So I mean, that's kind of what they do with bad movies. I don't know, but that is The Specialist, directed by Luis Loza. And the box office for July 11th to the 13th, the Superman had an opening weekend of 125 million. I think it's one of the biggest opening weekends this year, if not the biggest. Congratulations. I mean, I kind of hated on it. I mean, I gave it an average score. I think that's what it was. It's just an average movie, but clearly, I'm wrong. The audience spoken. Let's see the drop off for next week, though. We're talking about drop off. Jurassic Park or Jurassic World Rebirth, 40.3 million in its second week, coming off. Well, we've had 43. I don't know what they do with the what was it, like a $95? So they over half. So it's about the same trend as every other movie this year. F1 movie at 13.1 million and 140 million dollars total. So the last 3 weeks we had huge openings and just a good follow around really with 40.3 million here and 11 worse than 13 million with F1 3 weeks in. So it's going well for those movies, which is good. Always a good sign, especially these summer months. We still have Fantastic Four coming out, and I Know What You Did Last Summer this week. So interesting stuff gonna happen. I know what you're gonna do last summer is not gonna do that well, but especially like this, they took the Disney was smart. They took that buffer week to kind of let Superman cool down, and then Fantastic Four comes out. Smart move by Disney. And then our news for this week, or for today, the Stranger Things season 5 teaser trailer came out. 2 minute teaser trailer came out. A lot of interesting stuff. It looks like it's gonna happen this season, including Linda Hamilton, or what's her name? The girl from Terminator. Linda Hamilton is in. Is that her name? Hold on here. God damn it. um, yeah, that no. Let's see here. I don't have my. Anyways, I'm gonna look at that, but she's coming into the movie here. Let's see. It's the week before, of course. I want to get her name right. I'm sorry it's taking so long. Just fast forward through all this, and you will get the name. Maybe True Lie. Linda Hamilton. So I was right the whole time. So I wasted all your time for me to be right. That was about 40 seconds there. Sorry about that, guys. But she is also appearing this year, so interesting stuff here. Can't wait to watch it. November seems like a long time away. But that is Netflix's model, I guess. This is our Throwback Thursday for the week. Thank you guys very much for watching, and have a good rest of your day or night. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Comment your top movie picks for Throwback Thursday in the comment section. And see you next time in the cave.